Do you find it difficult to get away from people? Do you feel afraid of losing her even when they are hurting you? Learn to control your emotions and overcome these situations. Although extreme fear of loss is common, and we often struggle to hold on to those we love, this story is not unique to a distant galaxy, but a human dilemma that resonates with the teachings of Stoicism. Exploring the complexities of attachment and loss, we examine how Stoic principles can serve as practical steps in disengaging from people and situations. At times, wisdom might suggest temporarily distancing yourself to gain clarity rather than creating a void. Think about being at a lively party with blaring music, trying to understand a friend who whispers loudly. Wouldn't it be more sensible to stand back a little, as if the hustle and bustle of the party were suffocating our emotions? Gaining clarity involves taking a step back, similar to leaving a bustling party into a calmer environment where you can reflect clearly. Seneca, with her keen insight, frequently suggested, "As often as you remain, return to yourself." This return is not limited only to physical space. It also encompasses the mental and emotional sphere. When emotions cloud our perspective, stepping back allows us to observe them as if they were clouds floating in the sky, recognizing their separation from us. This detachment does not imply coldness, but rather a way of examining the situation and our reactions objectively. It's like looking at the entire chessboard instead of just the piece we're holding. To apply this today, it is not necessary to have a villa in the countryside as the ancient Stoics did. It can be as simple as turning off your phone for an hour, taking a walk, or just sitting quietly in a room. The goal is to find a space where our thoughts are not overwhelmed by the constant hum of life. It is in these moments of serenity that we find the strength to make informed decisions, guided not by immediate emotions, but by reflective thinking and inner wisdom. Taking a step back is your power, providing space to breathe and glimpse beyond the haze of the immediate. The second step involves considering rationality in distancing. Choosing to distance yourself from someone is not a hasty decision, but rather a thoughtful process that reflects rationality and virtue, fundamental values of Stoicism. Visualize your life as a trip on a boat, where the people around you are like winds and currents. Some help you navigate smoothly, while others can lead you into troubled waters. In this context, you, as captain, must decide which winds to take advantage of and which storms to avoid. This choice is not about avoidance, but about directing your life in a direction that is in tune with your values and well-being. Epicurus, a Stoic who transformed his life from slavery to wisdom, emphasized the importance of choosing associations that align with our inner freedom. His experience teaches us a valuable lesson. Not everyone who enters our lives brings light with them. The projection of certain shadows can reduce our own luminosity. Relationships, compared to mirrors, ask us the question, what do they reflect about us? Joy, growth and understanding, or doubt, discomfort and dismay. Choosing to distance oneself is not abandonment, but rather a deliberate choice in favor of self-preservation and moral integrity. Stoicism is not about logical coldness, but about warm wisdom. It invites us to consider whether someone contributes to our lives as a harmonious melody or interrupts the harmony as a discordant note. As we reflect on this, let us remember the words of Epictetus. We are not disturbed by what happens to us, but by our thoughts about what happens. The importance lies not only in the person, but in our perception of his impact on our lives. Are they a chapter in our story that encourages growth, or a side note that distracts us from our journey? Ultimately, the decision to distance yourself is an act of creating a life story to be proud of, while being true to yourself, your values, and your journey. Stoicism teaches us to embrace relationships that enrich our narrative and to gently let go of those that do not. It's about building a life where each person and experience is a thoughtful and deliberate addition to the tapestry of our existence. The third step involves talking to someone you can trust when you feel like the world is a puzzle and you're struggling to put the pieces together. Together, it is time to embrace Stoicism, championing inner strength while recognizing the power of connection. Talking to someone you trust acts like finding an anchor in rough seas. It's not about offloading problems, but about gaining clarity and perspective. Imagine having a companion on life's journey, someone to help you plot the terrain when your internal compass feels disoriented. Seneca, with his deep understanding of human nature, highlighted the power of shared wisdom, comparing a friend to a mirror that reflects not only our image, but also our most intimate truths. This reflection not only involves seeing ourselves clearly, but also understanding our path. By opening up to someone, you're not just sharing words, you're allowing them into your inner world and giving them a glimpse into your thoughts and emotions. This exchange creates a space of understanding and mutual support where ideas are shared, not just sympathies. It is crucial to choose your confidant wisely, someone who embodies the values to which you aspire. This person becomes your sounding board, helping you navigate through your thoughts and feelings without needing to solve your problems. Sometimes, you just need to be heard. His presence reminds you that you are not alone on this journey. By sharing your thoughts, you might find wisdom in small answers, little nuggets of truth that help you see things from another perspective. Stoicism teaches that life's challenges are best met with a calm mind and a supportive community. Your chosen confidant is part of this community, a testament that strength often comes from unity. Remember that distancing yourself from a person or situation does not mean separating yourself from all human connections. In fact, it is these same connections that provide the strength and perspective necessary to explore the intricate tapestry of life with your conversations. These talks are not simple. They are bridges to clarity and anchors in the ever-changing seas of life. The fourth step involves setting limits for our feelings. Governing our emotional landscape is akin to being the captain of a ship sailing through a storm, where the waves represent our powerful and sometimes overwhelming feelings. Stoicism does not urge us to avoid these waves, but to ride them with skill and wisdom. It's about discerning when to let ourselves be carried by the waves and when to firmly steer our ship. Although feelings are natural, without limits, they can divert us from the chosen path. The key is to experience these waves without allowing them to capsize our boat. Epictetus, with his deep knowledge of the human soul, reminds us that we are not affected by things, but by the vision we have of them. This perspective is essential for establishing emotional boundaries, like having a guardian in our minds that acknowledges each visitor, i.e. our feelings, but does not allow any of them to take over the house, which is our inner peace. For example, when anger calls to us, we recognize it, we understand its source, but we do not let it sit at our table and dictate our actions. It consists of starting a conversation with our emotions, understanding their place, and gently guiding them where they belong, without overshadowing our reason. In practice, setting boundaries might involve allocating a specific time to feel a certain way. For example, for the next hour, I will allow myself to feel upset about this and then focus on solutions. It is not about denying feelings, but rather managing their influence, like a tightrope walker who recognizes the height but focuses on the rope. By doing this, we honor our feelings without becoming their slaves. We feel, understand, and then gently guide you back to a place of balance and rationality. This process does not aim at suppression, but rather at moderation, similar to adding just the right amount of sugar to tea, enough to enjoy the flavor, but not so much that it overwhelms the whole. The fifth step involves carefully considering the possible consequences of distancing yourself when you face the crossroads of detachment. Take a moment to examine each path. Stoicism does not advocate impulsive decisions, but rather considered reflection. Visualize each path as a potential future, where each turn leads to different results. The path of estrangement can bring peace, growth, and a stronger sense of self, or it can leave a trail of regret and missed opportunities. This forecast does not seek to predict the future with certainty, but rather to prepare for it with wisdom. Marcus Aurelius, a man who balanced the weight of an empire, once reflected on looking back at his changing empires to foresee the future. His words reflect the Stoic practice of reflecting on past experiences to inform future decisions. He reflects on times you've distanced yourself before. Did it bring clarity and peace, or did it lead to isolation and regret? He uses these reflections as a guide, learning from the past to navigate the future. Finally, he considers the impact of your decision on others. Stoicism urges us to balance our needs with the greater good by becoming detached. Are you fostering your growth and contributing positively to the lives of others, or are you potentially causing harm or misunderstanding? This step is not just about self-interest. It involves harmonizing your well-being with the world around you. It's like watching your steps in a garden, making sure they nourish the growth instead of trampling the flowers. Detachment, in the Stoic sense, is an act of wisdom and care, a considered decision that considers not only oneself, but also the interconnected web of relationships in which we all exist. In the sixth step, taking a break from social media is compared to imagining your mind as a serene lake and social media as raindrops that disturb your constant calm. These drops represent the updates, notifications, and comparisons that affect our peace on the surface. Although Stoicism thrived long before the digital age, its timeless wisdom offers tools for dealing with these disruptions. Seneca, reflecting on the brevity of life, would likely consider social media an unnecessary distraction in modern life. He wisely pointed out that life is long if you know how to use it. This detachment step focuses on reclaiming time and attention, choosing where to direct our precious energy. In the world of social media, our attention is a precious commodity. By taking a step back, we not only avoid a digital deluge, but we also give our minds room to breathe and think. This distancing from social media is not an act of escape, but rather an exercise in self-care. It is about discerning what enriches us and what depletes us. As you take this break, notice the change in your mental landscape. Do you feel more calm, present, and aware of your thoughts and feelings? This awareness is fundamental to Stoicism, understanding what we can control and letting go of what we cannot. It's about recognizing that although we can't stop the rain, we can choose to take shelter and enjoy the sound of the drops without getting soaked. Taking a break from social media can feel like getting off a moving train. Although silence persists, this stillness harbors clarity. As you immerse yourself in this social media lull, remember Seneca's words and use this time wisely. Read a book, go for a walk, write in a journal, and participate in activities that nourish your soul. After all, this break is your time to reconnect with yourself. Remember who you are in the quiet away from the crowd. In the last step, attention is deliberately focused on the fundamental needs when walking the path of detachment. Direct your focus toward the core of your being, where the essence of Stoicism lies. The goal is to strip away the non-essential, such as noise and nonsense, to perfect yourself in what nourishes the soul. This goes beyond material needs and into emotional sustenance, moral integrity, and personal growth. Imagine your life as a garden, and consider what elements are essential to its prosperity. Similarly, identify what is essential for your emotional and spiritual growth, focusing on nurturing these aspects. Epicurus, born into hardship, understood the importance of focusing on what really matters, highlighting the power of discernment to separate the valuable from the superficial in our lives. This approach involves recognizing what is necessary to feel fulfilled, stable, and at peace, finding satisfaction in simplicity and depth. It means taking the time to reflect on what truly brings genuine happiness and peace. This constant practice of reviewing and adjusting these fundamental needs creates a foundation of stability and satisfaction, guiding you through life's complexities with clarity and purpose. Living intentionally, not just existing, is the heart of this approach. As you embark on the path of disengagement, you find the essence of Stoicism, a life lived with purpose, wisdom, and inner peace. This continuous process of reviewing and realigning as you grow and evolve acts as a compass that guides you through life with clarity and purpose. The teachings of Stoicism offer profound wisdom and practical advice for living a life enriched with virtue and emotional strength. As you confront the complexities of human connections, Stoicism stands as a beacon of inspiration, guiding you toward a life filled with virtue, wisdom, and emotional resilience. We hope you liked the video. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos and get your full potential.